It's been 10 years since I last heard of them. They were the siblings I used to play with as a kid. They lived just across the street. Our parents knew each other well, so we visited them rather often. It was on a dark day, overcast, but not raining yet, just a few thunders could be heard from far away. We used to play outside, but on that day, we played inside. Didn't want to risk getting wet. We decided on what we wanted to play. Our parents were upstairs, and we played down in the basement. Thinking about it now, I know that it sounds strange to play in the basement. But we had fun doing it. It felt kind of cozy. They had a lot of blankets down there. They even brought the stuffed animals down there. Made kind of a little place to nestle down and just have fun. It was like a little getaway. Well, we decided what we wanted to play. We came up with different ideas. Playing catch, tossing around a little ball that one of them got on one of the fairs that we went to. Was one of the first things he won. Carried it everywhere he went. Understandably though. We decided on playing hide and seek. Innocent little game. Played it a lot down there as well. The basement had a few nice little places that you could hide in. We knew them all, of course, so the games never tended to last long. But we still loved playing it. Pretending to be looking for each other for oh so long, while we knew exactly where everyone was hiding. We started the first round. He was the first one to search. So we decided to hide. His sister hid under a little table that we had down there. A table on which was nothing more than just a few old blankets, some of the stuffed toys. One of the blankets was draped over it, just so that you couldn't really see under the table. I went on the other side of the room. There was a little wall of boards, like decorative boards that they put up there. You could slip past one of them and you were like in between the walls, but not really. I used to hide in there a lot because it was a cool place. It felt like you were crawling through the air ducts or something, like in the spy movies that they do all the time. And I found this to be really cool and exciting. He started looking around for us, pretended he didn't see any of us, knowing very well where we hid. He checked a few other places, and then he went over to the boards where I hid. He found me and I came out. All nice and fun. We looked around a little bit, found his sister, and since I was found first, it was my turn to be the seeker now. They both hid, and I just closed my eyes and counted backwards from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I heard a strange noise at 5. I remember this very vividly. It was no noise that I usually heard in the basement. It sounded like a weird cackle and a screech. High-pitched yet strangely deep. The air became a bit colder, but I didn't mind it too much. I hesitated for a moment and continued counting down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here I come. Looking around the basement. I was playing as usual, looking around like, oh, where could they have gone? Shouting their names, but in a playful manner, so even if our parents heard us, they wouldn't think anything strange had happened. I started looking closer, like 3 minutes later, and I still haven't found any of them. I looked behind the boards, under the table, inside the pile of blankets and the plushies. Every little nook and cranny to this basement. It wasn't really big. They couldn't have gone far, and if they went upstairs I would have heard them. The boards leading upstairs were rather squeaky, so stepping on them you could hear it. So I knew that they still had to be down here. So I looked closer, looked beneath the stairs as good as possible. It was rather impossible to get below them, but I thought maybe they found a way. Looking below the stairs, I saw something strange. Like a silhouette. I wasn't quite sure what it was. It didn't look quite human. It was strangely twisted. And for a brief moment I thought it was looking back at me. Like I saw the shimmer of eyes glaring back at me. I felt uneasy. Backed away, and just called their names out. When I did that, that cackle started again. It came from under the stairs. It made me nervous. I wanted to run upstairs, but I was scared to go onto the stairs. What should I do? The cackle stopped again. I couldn't even hear my parents, their parents upstairs. Just dead silent. Nothing but that uneasy feeling that there is something under those stairs, looking directly at me. And I'm looking at those stairs in the hope that nothing comes out there. I don't know how long I sat there, just looking. The air around me got colder and colder, as if it wanted to strangle me. My breath was getting faster. felt like I was getting a panic attack. It must have been just a moment before I passed out that our parents opened the door to the basement and were calling for us. When none of us replied, they came down looking for us. I just heard the cackle one last time and saw the eyes glaring at me one last time before they just disappeared into the dark void that was beneath those stairs. The last thing I could remember was them asking where they were, before I collapsed. I woke up the next day in the hospital. My parents were there telling me that the others went missing. They wanted to know what had happened down there. I always wanted to tell them, but I was too scared. I thought that if I told them, they might think I'm crazy. Looking back at it, maybe I am. They never were found. But after all those years, I still hear that cackle. This otherworldly laughter. And I can sometimes see those eyes staring right at me.